get in a car that's run by an Indian team is just an amazing feeling, a proud moment. It's surreal. An Indian just needs an Indian driver to cheer for. India needs that. Even when you're at your lowest, always believe in yourself and push forwards, because you never know what's around the door.
So I'm here with Kush Maini, rookie driver for Mahindra Racing and Formula E. You're going to be driving in the rookie test in Berlin. I just want to start, Indian driver driving for an Indian team. Is that a dream come true? Is it something you ever thought was possible?
Yeah, I think especially at this level, you know, in a world championship, it's surreal, especially coming from a country that, you know, motorsport isn't the norm. Cricket is, so getting people excited about motorsport has always been a struggle for us in our country. But to see it finally getting bigger and bigger, and to be at this stage now, to get in a car that's run by an Indian team, and it's just an amazing feeling, a proud moment.
And just staying on that for a second, we've seen the MotoGP go over. We saw Formula E last year. Hopefully it will come back as well. Formula One came and then left. You know, what do you see? Do you think there's a lot of motorsport fans in India that will be interested in Formula E? Do you sense that? I've seen there's been a new broadcast deal in India. It seems like maybe an exciting time, but you'll know better than me.
It's a massively exciting time, especially for Indians, because, you know, you can see them understanding the sport better. You know, we have a couple of drivers at the top level. So, you know, an Indian just needs an Indian driver to cheer for. India needs that. And now that we're finally getting a bit of that, you can see the excitement build. And I think Formula E will do amazing in India, and is a massive potential. You know, motorsport in general is picking up massively, so it's exciting to see.
Well, hopefully we'll be back. And getting on to Kush Mania, I've got to start with my name is Jeff. He's a Mexican Wolverine. What's the backstory for all that?
That's traveled all this way, huh?
Yeah.
So my engineer's name is Jeff. Okay. So he hates it when I say it, because it's like a little inside joke. Yeah. So as soon as I crossed the line, he was like, "You're Pole," I just had to say it, you know. So that was quite funny, and it looks like it made its round, so that's quite cool.
And you're having an amazing season over there in F2. Do you feel top of the world, and sort of, do you feel like this is your year, sort of where it's coming together? I don't know, but it feels like that from the outside, maybe.
Yeah, it's always obviously a long way to go. We've been a bit unlucky in moments, obviously disqualified in Bahrain, and you know, we got a bit unlucky with the safety car in Melbourne, but every race, every session, we've been in the top three, fighting to be the quickest or for wins. So it definitely feels like everything is coming together, but in a long season like F2, you gotta stray the path and keep your head and just try and get points.
And we've seen some of your not teammates, people racing there, like Zane, like Paul Aaron, getting more involved in Formula E as a pathway. And you're obviously here as part of Mahindra Racing, going to be in the car in Berlin. Do you see that as an option, as something that could be very exciting? And, you know, where does that fit in terms of your sort of what you would like to do?
You know, anything for racing drivers at the top level is interesting. And I think the driver level here, a lot of drivers can probably be in F1. It's a very high level, and the teams, you know, massive. I mean, Mahindra is huge in India. It's massive. So it's obviously for racing drivers, we want to race against the best, and you get that in Formula E, and that's why it's a world championship. So for sure, to learn more about a series and to be with the team here is a great opportunity for myself to grow as a driver.
And that growth, you know, you've got someone like Nick who has been in Formula One, who's a Formula E champion as well. What's your relationship like with him? Are you sort of observing him or asking him advice? You're feeding in data to him as well, I imagine. What's that relationship like?
Of course, it's more me just trying to be a sponge this weekend and trying to extract as much info as I can. Both of them are very experienced with this car, and it's very different to what I'm used to. So I'll probably be a pain in their butt this whole weekend, trying to get as much info as possible. But they're both great drivers, and they're both great people as well to work with. So it's going to be exciting.
It's interesting you hear that like a sponge. When we were speaking with Zane earlier, he was saying if he could go back in his career, he would listen more, because he's now finding all this. So it's information. And we spoke as well with James Barkley at Jaguar TCS Racing, and he said what he looks for in drivers is people who are listening, asking questions. So it seems to be that it's very technically sort of broad now, especially in Formula E. You talked about the differences. You know, the steering wheel's like a supercomputer. What are the technical things there that are difficult to get on top of that you're having to work on?
Well, obviously, me working in the simulator, it's you know, obviously in F2 you have a lot less things to think about. You obviously have DRS and you push and try and maintain the tires. But here there's like energy, there's beeps and bops, and so many more things to think about. So as a driver, you can always learn more and more, and I think this has shown me that this year. And there's you know, a lot more strategy thinking, and you know, you can be the quickest in the quali in this championship, but then if you don't execute the race perfectly, you can finish out of the top 10. Exactly, especially here where the energy is going to be really important. So it's exciting twist to it, and I think the racing is really fun to watch as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they get on this weekend.
Is there this? I don't know if this is right or not, but so much to do here in terms of the steering wheel and the energy management and the relay with your engineer. Does it in some way make it easier to go to F2 when perhaps that's a little bit simpler because you can? I don't know, but I'm just.
Of course, that's one of the things I feel. You know, I said when I signed with Mahindra. Obviously, I'm with Alpine as well and Mahindra, and to learn from. You know, Mahindra, all these, like in the simulator, you're thinking about like 10 different things. So when you go to F2, everything sort of calms down and you don't have as many things to focus on. So you can actually focus on just doing what you need to. So definitely, I would say that's something that's going to help me.
That's interesting. It's a big part of our channel as we try and help young karters and sim racers particularly get faster, and maybe, you know, changing disciplines and working, you know, driving a hypercar in the sim, and then you go back and you drive a GT3 might be easy, I don't know. But just on that, you know, very inspirational to a lot of people watching around the world. Any tips and tricks you can give to maybe kids starting out karting or nowadays sim racing? Anything that you've found really helpful for you? Anything technical? I don't know.
Well, I think you got to follow your dreams, of course. And you know, I've had moments in my career where I really thought that, you know, that was it. And I think 3 years ago I was going to stop racing, and now I'm here affiliated with an amazing Formula E team and a Formula One team, and everything's going well. So I think even when you're at your lowest, always believe in yourself and push forwards, because you never know what's around the door.
Yeah, amazing inspirational message, Kush.
Thank you so much, mate.
I wish you the best of luck. It seems like it's all coming together this season. Hopefully in Berlin, you can show what you're going to do. We should be there as well, so maybe we'll catch up. But thanks a lot. Thanks.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, mate.
Awesome.
Thanks, yeah.